the IT colleagues who are already on call and have previously practiced or utilized some of these skills want to give appreciation to you and perhaps encourage you to keep sharing with other people as a way of empowerment. And that all said, with all those remarks, I now believe that with the guidance I've provided, you are going to go back and download the content according. So you allow me now from this point henceforward to share my screen. Okay. Yeah, I hope you can see my screen. I'm looking at the participants. I want people to hit the reaction button and press thumbs. If you can see my screen, just want one person. If you can see my desktop, hit the reaction button and give me a thumb. Wow. Colleague who is using a device A1 has acknowledged that, and many more, including Fred. Fred, I received that feedback with thanks. And with all that feedback, therefore, let us get the first presentation should have been installing Google Chrome, rather downloading and installing Google Chrome. I want to begin from the point that a person already has Google Chrome that downloaded on their PC, and the next step is for them to just install. In any case, if the person has got a challenge to download and install, maybe another facilitator can do that, since I've been asked to have a quick demonstration on how we can manage email, Gmail, that is create a Google account and then later on do composition of messages. Yeah, I'm going to be very brief as possible because I know we have utilized this before. So on my desktop, I'm going to locate Google Chrome and double click on it as our browser. Now, unfortunately here, when I double click, if you can check, let me try to zoom my screen clearly. If you can see, because I'm already signed in, when I click on Gmail, just take a look. When I click on Gmail, I am logged into my account. That is because I'm already logged in. Now, for those of us who are here for the very first time, or you wish to get through the process of getting started with your Google Chrome, or after downloading Google Chrome, and then later on you want to use your Gmail, then I will have to follow this procedure. I'm going to take assumption that maybe you have borrowed somebody's laptop and then they have already signed in their email account. And that means for if you click on Google Apps here and click Gmail, you are taken their emails. What do you do basically? So step one, launch the new incognito window. Those of us who borrow laptops to use, I want you to know that it is important as part of safety and privacy that after using your computer, a person cannot later on locate or trace the history of what we're using. So new incognito window allows us to browse safely, and even if later we exit the window, people cannot know what we're browsing. If I just click in the start here and I type Gmail, or I later on just click on Google Apps, the Google Apps, and then in quick. So if you click in Gmail, you can see it just logs me in. And whatever I do here in this safe browser, the history will be clogged, and I can later go back and check what I was doing. So assumption I'm taking is that you have borrowed somebody's computer or laptop and you're using their Google Chrome. You want to create your account and later on close without storage of that history. So step one, launch new incognito. How do we launch new incognito window? On the extreme end, if you can check on the title bar, just below the title bar, the extreme end, there are these icons. We click on this icon, the three dots here. When you click the three dots, you can see there's new tab, new window, and new incognito window. So I click new incognito window. Now, when I open this window, if you can look at my screen, some of the messages, maybe if I can zoom a little bit in for every other person to see. Yes, I've tried to zoom. They say now you can browse privately and other people who use this device won't see your activity. So it is at this stage now that I want to guide through us how we can quickly create our Google account and then later on professionally use it to send messages. Perhaps in the next 5 minutes will be done. So step 2, I click in the navigation bar. Normally the browser has the following path. This is called the navigation bar, or rather the navigation bar or the address bar. So we click in this address bar and then type www.google, rather Gmail. Let me just go straight to Gmail as a service of, like with other facilities, I will be talking about other things. www.gmail.com. And well, whenever you open this in a new Cognito window, it will ask you to log in. So at this point, you're supposed to type in your email address and then you click next. But in case you are new to Gmail, then the ultimate choice would be clicking on create account. And whenever we click on create account, these are options, but very important. Majority people do not know what these are for. So first is we have for personal use, creating an email address for personal use, for your child, and then for your work or business. Now, when do you use for your child? If you have a child, a learner, who is a person who is less than 18, if you create using this process, then later on in the permissions or the accessibility, this person will be limited in accessing some of the features that his age is not like due. Then we have personal use, that one very self-explanatory. Then we have email, that would address that would help you manage your business. Now, I want to go with this one for work or business. Like, you know, in all the methods, they will give you a form to collect information. At this step here, you put your first name. I'm going to create some simple mail here. Hope you'll follow closely. And I'm glad that majority of the people at least have created this, have gone through this step. Maybe they will pick through the last step later. So you put your name, first name, then you put your last name. Then Google will suggest an email address, ugishadens51@gmail.com. If you like it, you take it. If you don't like it, you may wish to have exactly as Ugisha Dennis. So if there's no any other user who has taken up that email, then they will allow you have it. But if somebody already has that address, then they will have to notify you that this address is already taken. The username is already taken. So here, maybe let me try to interchange. This is Dennis Ugisha. If it is there, if it's available, I can use it. If somebody has taken it, then they will not allow me. So at this stage, they have allowed me and I can use it. So in an email address, the first item I've written here is known as a username. And then the last item you're seeing on my right here are known as, the art is a separator, then the Gmail is the email software, and then .com is the top level domain. Top level domain. So we can say an email address as a username and then the domain name. The username and the domain name are separated with the @ symbol. So your email address you give to people, you always read it from the username followed by the domain name where it is created from. Then you create your password. Passwords have characteristics that you people have to be mindful, at least 8 characters above, then also a combination uppercase and lowercase together with symbols would give you a good password. And when you're done, you click next. I think that stage is very best. Now, majority of the users always skip this level. I want to encourage you to always, enter all the information. In case you skip adding your phone number, and then later on you forgot your password, then you will not have to retrieve that email address. It is important that when you are creating an email address, you also put a phone number. You can see it is optional, but later on, it's a very important tool that can help you retrieve your email in case you forgot your address. And since this is a live demo, allow me put my number here in case you would wish to interact. I'm going to also put my other email quickly here. Then I'll put day of birth, and I'll just sample any day here, put my brother's date of birth, and then mail. I think this is some very important stage, and I encourage you to fill all the details. If you don't have the recovery email, find at least somebody in your acquaintances, next of kin, somebody you trust to always offer an email address. This email address and phone number are very important details because they can help you retrieve your account in case you forgot password, or in case somebody hacked in your password and there's a reset made. So I click next because I want to conclude this. Of course, at this stage, they ask us whether we agree with privacy and terms. There are many policy guidelines that are bounded here. You can devote time to read. In a case, if you don't want, then you can always choose another email software like Yahoo. But if you wish to have an email address, then the objective is just knowledge, that you read and understand your role and the limitations you have, and click yes to agree in case you wish to continue. And then finally, they tell me your Google account is ready, and I can click this to continue. Now, why did I click next to continue? I wanted to as well add my business details. Remember, when I was creating an email address, I chose to create an email address that is for work and business. Normally, if you're creating an email address, for a person as an individual, this step, you'll not have this step. But I took an assumption that majority of us already had email addresses from personalized accounts, and I wanted to show you here how you would create a business account. For example, if somebody searches my name Mugisha Dance here, Google presses enter. Well, if you can see very well, this is what they will have. I'm going to show you how impactful it is. I have my searches, my website, my Twitter account, and all searches are mine because I have optimized. Then on the right here, we have my business information. This business information can only be available when you have a business email address and you set up your business info. So whereas you have a personal account, if you're creating a business, you're creating an email for your business, then the last option would be very important. I want to put here a sample business name as share. Okay, let me not put share bit. Okay, I'm going to put Kruger ICT Solutions. Kruger ICT Solutions, and click continue. And then, of course, they will ask me to fill in the detail to select my type of business. I chose to show you this step, otherwise the email address is already done. The other information I'm just contributing is to show you how you would have such information, a customized business profile on your account as an IT person, additional to the email address you own. So this is an online retail. So I tick this. And after that, I just have to continue with the next, because that is all what I would wish to take. I'll click next. Then they will ask me to put my website if it is available. My website is www.mugisha.net. So the website you put here should be that for the business. If it is not there, then you click skip. If it's not there, if it is available, you put. Then the business category, you put. I am going to skip all this information because I want to, I want to complete this out in the interest of time. Time management. You will go later and follow closely. Address, I'm going to put Gema, okay. Gema town, this is Busika Town Council. So I believe majority of you will go ahead and also create this so that you have your business seen through account. When people do the searches, yeah, zero overload. I want to continue. Here they will ask me, I will, yeah. So Gisha Dance, allow me. Okay, finally. Yeah, and okay. So I'm just filling in my details here to finalize this out, but I know majority of you will follow now closely. I believe this is a very important step as IT people. That's why I chose to avail this or use this method and as well submit, because some of you already had the other personal email address. I would not use the other process. Yeah, and finally I'm done. And finally I'm done. Now, having finished to create your email address, the next step would be now use the email address to communicate. And how do we now use our email address to communicate or share resources? That is the last step. If I complete that, I will have finished. Can I hear from members? Aaron K. Aaron K. Hello, Aaron K.
Hello.
Yeah. Which kind of email account do you have? Which kind of email address do you have? Do you have the personal or the other business email? Personal. Okay.
Yeah.
You look forward to creating the business email address as well?
Absolutely, yes.
That is very great. Thank you very much for that feedback. And
finally,
the other person, can I hear from a lady? Madam Agnes, I've asked you to unmute. Good afternoon, Madam Agnes. Good afternoon, Madam Agnes. I've asked you to unmute. Okay. Because okay, Henry, let me hear from Henry briefly. Good afternoon, Teacher Henry.
Thank you very much, Dennis, for your presentation.
You're welcome.
I appreciate very much. I have a question. May I ask?
Please.
Now, I opened up an email for my business, but I didn't know that you could create an email account, Gmail account for a business the way you've done. Actually, I just used the regular way. For first name, I put like my business name is in two portions. So for first name, I put one portion of the name. Then for the surname, I put another portion of the name. Can I change that email account into a business and I maintain the email address, or there is no way of doing that?
Well, now what I just know, maybe members can share more experience since we are now a team. it is very difficult to change an email address. But we can always upgrade our emails from personal to business. That is, if we go to under settings, or you just have to type in Google, type Google Business. If you type Google Business in the search engine or the address bar, they will ask you to sign in. And then when you sign in using your personal email and avail all the information of your personal email, then they can upgrade it to the business email. That's what I initially did. The earliest search I told you when people search for my name, like I demonstrated here, Ogisha Dance, they search, they will see my business on the right of their search results. Then their websites and other social media handles in my name. So I didn't create this business email from the start. I created the personal email and then typed in Google Business in the search engine, clicked sign in, and then later on filled in the information to upgrade. Because if you click sign in here, the next thing you see, because I'm already signed in, they now have to, they ask me to just go ahead. I want to draw your attention. Henry, we shall have more deep conversation. You can just use the details here in the search here to get back to me, or through our team lead, that is Mr. Mukisa. For any other constructive feedback, we can engage continually for any other thing at any moment. So colleagues, as I sign out rather, and allow other facilitators on call to contribute something, I wanted to complete the process on how we can use our email professionally to communicate to our clients. So when you are signed in, take a look here. Because I'm already signed in, I want to demonstrate something. If I type in Gmail in the browser, initially when I typed in www, remember I'm using new incognito window, and the browse history cannot kept. So when I want to go to my email address and look at my inbox, there are two options. You can go to the address bar and type www.gmail.com again, so that they redirect you to the inbox. Or if you don't want that, then you use the Google Apps. You click the Google Apps, and then from this drop-down menu, you click on Gmail. By default, you see I'm already signed in, but Gmail is somewhere here. You click Gmail, still they will redirect you to this very interface which we're in. So in my inbox so far, I have a welcome message from that message every other person has already seen. And this message, they're telling me that my business email is now active. Well, now, there are many things we have to share, because majority of us as IT people don't have several things or don't do things very well. So the first thing is, how do we send messages to people? To send messages to people, we click compose. And whenever we click compose, we shall have this dialog box where there's two. You put the address of the recipient, and then where there's subject here, you put the topic of the message. Like now, let's imagine I'm writing for Gisha, then my other email, and I want him to help me with the web design notes. Web design notes. Web design notes. So I put the subject as web design notes. Then at this point, I have to be very professional. Majority of us here just come here and say, excuse me, sir, allow me have some message. Now, to send the messages professionally, an email message at least should have a salutation. And then later on, write to him as a person. You can compose your email and at least ask whatever you wish. Kindly avail to me some web design if you have so that I can use to teach my student. Please, you forgive me for the language where there's somewhere. Then, of course, that is the body. Good enough. Google has got a dictionary. The Gmail Google is embodied or incorporated with a powerful or rich dictionary that would allow you to always have correct content. So it is important you at least read through and make sure you're writing correct things. Then lastly, of course, I said the email address of the recipient, the first thing, the salutation, the subject, rather the subject, then the salutation, the body where you explain everything you need, and then the conclusion. Then lastly, you mention who you are. So for this, you can imagine I'm typing it, but later on we can set up a signature to avail this information automatically whenever you're posing information, all the details you want your email to have. Then maybe before I leave this, because I'm signing out, the other very important stage here is you might have other several people you're writing to. There are these options. We have CC and then BCC. Now CC here allows you to create or to send copies of email to other people, but each of them knowing the other person who has got the email. So maybe you're writing to Gisha Dens, but you'd also want the head of the department to know you are requesting. If at all, it is part of the recommendation that came up that you compose an email to some department. So you put CC and then copy in the other people who are supposed to receive. You choose CC if at all you want them to know, that so and so has received an email. However, if you have a friend, you want to give him that, you want to allow him know that you are sending an email, but you don't want the primary address or the other people to know that they have received the email, then you use blind carbon copy. Carbon copy here sends copies of email to any other recipient you list here, but each of these people will know that they have received at least a copy here. Blind carbon copy, you send email, a copy of the email to this person, but they will not know that the other person has what? Has got that email address. Then finally, how do you attach a file? If there is a file you want to attach, maybe that form of request letter, you click this attach file, you browse where that file is, click OK, and that file will be attached. If you have a link, that person, you want to send a link, you can either paste the link in the body or you click in this icon, put the link, and then you click OK. You want to share a file from Google Drive, you click, you can explore all these icons are underneath it. And then when you're done, you just click send and your message will be sent. There are a few seconds you can always undo if there is a mistake or you recall something. They give us some few seconds to undo. And when you click, like when I click send, and I'm sure everything is okay, and they give me the status that it is sent, then I just have to ignore. And when the seconds elapse, there will be no undo button. So you can just click view message and wait for the other person to send you the reply. And members, always make sure that when you read an email, you make replies. How do you know the mails you sent? You click send. This folders can help group the emails, the incoming emails, the outgoing emails, then the emails that failed to be sent, or that you intend to send later on. You can always create other labels here. You can also create signatures. I would wish to end at this point.